information about the skills. At the beginning, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't really know what my teaching was lacking of. So I was like tabula rasa, no idea whatsoever. And then when it came to writing about especially subject knowledge, I've picked one that actually I think is very vital to in my teaching practice, which is the jargon and specialist vocabulary, because I teach Polish language to non-native speakers. And I came up with 3 aims really that I wanted to achieve in this section. The first one was explaining the meaning of the word rather than put it into practice, and that's by Minton 2005. And here basically I put on there that using specialist vocabulary and jargon when explaining the use of grammar is very complex. And sometimes I'm struggling with explaining a Polish grammar to non-native speakers of the language. In my teaching practice, I aim to focus on explaining the meaning of the word by incorporating the images and using audiovisual methods to teaching. So instead of putting them into example, I'm trying to present some images so people will understand what I'm talking about. So sometimes when I struggle to explain the grammar when using especially vocabulary, I'm using images, for example, and that stays in people's memory better than I would do different way. The other aim is to gather the knowledge from the field of linguistics, followed by literature reading, and that's what I'm lacking of as well. And I need to start, doing this as well within my practice. And this knowledge is crucial to deliver high standard sessions. In my teaching practice, however, I try to avoid complex jargon as it might demotivate my students. So, for example, if I would come up with words that nobody would understand, that would demotivate everybody when, demotivate everybody in the sense of learning a new language. The aim number 3 is it's my aim, it's very, one of the most important ones actually, is to attend specialist conferences and seminars to enrich my knowledge about teaching modern language. And this will improve my teaching portfolio and will give me an overview of trends and innovations within the field of my subject specialism. And I came up with basically with a sentence here which was taken from one of the books by Danuta Gabrysz-Barka, 1999. And for example, the reason why I put on there is that if I would use the same vocabulary as that person used in there, probably nobody would understand what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna read this to you. You can read on there, but the main sense of that is basically it might be pointless to come up with vocabulary like that. The knowledge and skills, the one that I've picked, actually 2, is the group interaction and differentiation. And I've got 3 aims on here. The one is to apply killer question, how and why, to realize the purpose of learning Polish language. The theory of first things is integrated within group discussions, where peers by interacting with each other learn from each other too. So it's not only by me asking the question myself, what I did and how I did and how can I apply, what can I improve on, is between the peers as well, because they learn from each other. The other aim is to implement the group learning strategies that are mentioned by Kat in 1995, such as brainstorming, demonstration, discussion groups and games. The games is the big one because I'm trying to use the games, for example, as people back in my country use in kindergartens and nurseries for very small kids, by using images and audiovisual resources. And those group learning strategies are the crucial part in my sessions. They allow me to discover true learning potential that lies in every single student. The aim number 3 is to include different student learning needs in lesson planning and class activities. And I've got a quote here. I will read that out to you, and I think it just gives that big essence what actually I aim for in here. In our planning, we must think not only about differentiation of resources, but also of the differentiation of teaching strategies, methods, language, focus, class management, and assessment. And that was being taken from about 2006. And that's the sentence that I described myself, and I was honest with that. I work hard to differentiate my teaching, my lessons, my directions, and my questioning to ensure enhanced learning is taking place in every single session. And finally, I have found a clear direction. So those aims that I came up with in both section number 1, the specialist knowledge and the skills will help me, will guide me in the right direction, hopefully. And what I want to do as well, quickly, just to show you, I don't know if you can see that big arrow there, it wasn't there, and I came up that happy teacher equals happy student. So to explain that to you, for example, the specialist subject knowledge is more about myself, and it's less visible to the students, where the knowledge and skills is more about group interaction and differentiation. But obviously, if I will achieve all those aims, will make me a better teacher, and I will have more happy students as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bart.
I'll just stop it. Maybe escape.
We're stuck there forever.
We'll speak this one.
I've never seen it with music on before. How did you do that?
There was an option to upload the music track or something. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a track that you had on another
Yeah, I
device.
just downloaded from the internet.
You stole it. That's smashing.
So that was my